Hello, Sydney. What's your favorite scary movie? Hey guys, how you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in keeping up with my horror theme aspect, since month October, you got Halloween is October time, gotta stay in tradition. And today in my horror tradition, I'm going to be reviewing the iconic horror movie, Scream. Now, Scream is a 90s horror movie directed by Wes Craven, the guy who brought us Nightmare on Elm Street and a whole bunch of other horror movies. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to one of the greats, Wes Craven. Scream is a movie that I have loved pretty much my whole life. It's one of the first movies that actually bring me into the loving of filmmaking and movies and horror too in general. Just in all of it. It's one of my first introductions into filming. It's been one of my first introductions to it. So Scream has always just held like a very special place in my heart. And I gotta tell you too, though, Scream, when I was a kid, it used to give me nightmares. It's funny, a lot of other stuff like Jason and Leatherface and all those other guys, they never gave me nightmares. But for some reason, Ghostface, I would have nightmares of Ghostface. Every October, it's always fun to kind of go back and revisit all the Scream movies, and that's what I'm doing right now. And right now, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the very amazing, you already can tell what I think of it, Scream. Now, first off the bat, what I love about this film is that it is a basically murder mystery film, which is kind of a little bit different than other horror movies. And in this one, the killer is actually a human, and we're trying to look for who is this person. It's a person who wears a mask and is a serial killer. And it could be any person that's in here, any person we meet or anything like that, and you don't know who the killer is until the ending. And I always love that murder mystery aspect to it, and we get some scenes of the cops and police, and even Sydney herself, our main character, trying to figure out who is this person that's trying to kill me, who is a serial killer. And I just always dig that. That's something I have hold dear to my heart, of murder mystery type stuff. And Scream is one of the iconic murder mysteries, in my opinion. They were one of the movies that done it the best. And going in with that murder mystery, I love how in this film there's actual clues. Like when you go back and watch it, because I have of course watched this movie like a bunch of times, and every time like I go and watch it, you always find out new little quips and new little hints that they put in there. Like every time, even to this day, I still watch it. And watched it last time, I found out some scenes where the hints where they put in with who the killers are that I didn't even know. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure most people have seen Scream, but the killer ends up being Billy and Stu. And even in the movie, there's this one scene that I noticed where when they're all sitting down kind of watching watching one of the movies, I think it was Halloween that they were watching, and it's during at Stu's party, and they're all sitting there, and there's just this really quick scene where we're in the movie that they're watching, Halloween, and Michael goes and kills somebody, and then you see Stu, everyone else kind of is going like, we're cheering, or going, oh, like that. But Stu, if you look at Stu for a quick second, he kind of looks at the screen, and he goes like, kind of like has like, yeah, like he's into it, while everyone else is kind of like, like react to it, and he's just into it. And there's certain stuff like that in the film where you see like, they're putting hints, they put hints all throughout who could be this killer. And I really love that. And it ends up making sense to when they're actually revealed to the killers. You're like, that makes perfect sense. And I like how they kind of throw you off a little bit. Like, they make you think, you figured it out. And then they throw you off bad again. You're like, wait, what? No. And they do that with everyone constantly. And I love how they do that in this film. And Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott is honestly, she's probably, in my opinion, the greatest horror survival or scream queen or whatever you want to call them in horror history. I even put her up even more than Jamie Lee Curtis. And I love Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. But she's better. I think Neve Campbell's a lot better, and she completely in this role she owns the role of Sidney Prescott. Like, she just completely owns the role. She is Sydney, and Sydney is a character where you care about, and she has deep history behind her, and she does hold like a lot of pain and a lot of sorrow behind her, but at the same time she is an actual real life tough character. Like, she doesn't just be tough just because the script says she has to be tough. She's just tough, like in her character is tough, and Neve completely souls it on that. And that's why Neve Campbell is still, to this day, one of the greatest scream queens, in my opinion, and the horror survivors is Neve Campbell, in my opinion. I love the chemistry they have all together. Like, everybody in the cast basically is a solid performance all throughout, and their chemistry is really good together. Even especially in the scene when they're all sitting together, eating lunch together, and talking about the murder or the killer, like who could it be and stuff like that, and they're trying to figure out themselves as the friends. It is a really good scene and really good. You get this friendship between them, and not just friendship, but kind of suspicious. Like any one of them could be the killer. That's what I really like about this movie, is that it really does settle that anyone could be the killer. And each and every person integrates and talks and everything together in ways to where you think they could be all out with each other, but yet the same way. It's so amazing seeing them on screen together. Of course, one of the things that makes this movie so iconic is how it makes fun of other horror movies, how it kind of looks at other horror movies and like, this is what makes you stupid, you know? You know, like how Cindy was saying a girl should be running out the front door, you know, to get help, not running up the upstairs, and I was assaulted. And then she literally does the same thing. And I love how it does make fun of the horror, like, aspect, but then capitalizing, like, yeah, it is goofy, but it's what happens. And I love that. I love how it kind of makes fun of that, and it makes it feel like it is part of this world, especially with the comedy they have in there. It makes it feel like, because they do watch movies, too, of real-life movies. They watch Halloween, The Howling, they watch Evil Dead, I think they mentioned, at least. They watch, you know, a bunch of different real-life movies and talk about real-life things to where you're watching this and you're like, this could really happen. And I think that's what makes the movie really scary, honestly, and really creepy. And that's what always scared me as a kid watching this, is just how real it feels. How it feels like this could happen anywhere in my own town, my own little suburb town, in my high school. Somebody could be a serial killer. Someone could just dress up in a ghost face mask and go out and killing people. You know, that's just how it is. And that's, I think, too, what makes this a lot more scary than most horror movies. And what, again, to say that's freaked me out most is the realism to it. I think what makes this movie such a great and memorable horror movie that still to this day is one of the best is that it has comedy, it has a coming-of-age part to it, it has an emotional stake to it, it has relatable characters that feel real and feel like people we know or someone we could be. And they have, at the same time, actual freaky scares and actual, like, grounded real-life scares that would be scary in real-life sense. And I love that they do that. And that's what makes it, I think, such an iconic horror movie that everyone loves, is that it has everything in there that you need for a horror movie. And now my overall basal thoughts of Scream is that I gotta say that Scream is one of the best and most iconic horror movies ever made. And to this day, it still stands at that because it has comedy, real life, fourth wall breaking kind of aspects to it that makes it feel real and into this real world. Great chemistry between cast, and it has actual good gore and horror to it, mixed with some good coming of age with it. And I think that's what makes this movie so great and so iconic to this day, and why everyone still goes back and watches this movie almost every year during Halloween. At least I do. Scream is a definite 10 out of 10 movie. I really can't find anything wrong with it. It's really one of those movies that is just perfect. It's a perfect movie for its genre. A perfect movie. And maybe if I could think of one thing that's wrong, can't even think of one thing that's wrong with it. It is an honestly great movie, a perfect movie. If you not have seen this movie already, I mean, I don't know how you have not seen it already. I'm pretty sure everyone has, but if you have not seen it already, go see it right now. Like right now, go watch Scream. That's my review, guys, on Scream. That's part of my Halloween movie reviews, horror movie reviews. I hope you guys liked it. And always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I always would appreciate your support. Always would appreciate you subscribing. Always appreciate that. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.